is this calm? Arsenal have lost again in pre-season. This time at home, 3-2 to Villarreal, courtesy of a Pepe sucker punch at his old yard. You guys know my thoughts on Arsenal fans from early. Very, very reactionary. There's two polar opposites. You win a pre-season friendly game, you're going to win the Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup, Carabao, X Factor, Britain's Got Talent. You lose a friendly, the sky is falling like Chicken Little. So on this channel, like with every team, we're going to try to be as objective as possible. We'll discuss all the new signings, who cooked, and who absolutely burned everything. This was the first time the Arsenal fans got to see Gyökeres starting a game and at home at the Emirates. And to be fair, the first 10-15 minutes, Arsenal looked pretty bright. The first time Martinelli took on the right back Mourinho, he actually got the better of him, and I was like, okay, fair enough. But spoiler alert, that was to be the last time, because as always, I want to give credit to other players as well, not just the ones in the Premier League or whatever. That Mourinho guy, listen, I know it's a pre-season friendly, but my first time watching him, I was pretty impressed. I'm not going to lie, the first 20-25 minutes, he was playing a bit too rough for what's supposed to be a pre-season friendly. But at the same time, like, do you know what? I kind of like that. Like, he let Martinelli beat him one time, and from then on, it was straight clamps. He didn't even give him the slightest bit of change. He was moving like Mr. Krabs, bro. You're getting nothing from me. So 23-year-old Uruguayan right back Santiago Marino, I've got my eye on you. But back to Arsenal, and of course, we got to speak on Gyökeres. This one, it was obvious the moment he came off that the Twitter fans are going to start making their attempts at fail comps or whatever. Me personally, my issue with Gyökeres in this game isn't probably what everyone else saw. First of all, I think everyone can agree the service was pretty terrible. Like I said, they were just clipping in aimless balls at knowing full well that Gyökeres is not some kind of aerial monster. I don't know if they thought they were watching Sesko or something, but yeah, the dinked balls over the top, they weren't landing. That being said, he made some nice couple touches in the box himself, but my issue was he seemed too shy to pull the trigger. And I'm thinking, hold on a minute. Like, you're giving me all this like dramatic music and you're a proper super villain. Why are you being so friendly? I get it, innit? Like, you've got new teammates, you want to be polite and generous and whatnot and unselfish, but you are the number 9. If I'm a manager, if I'm a fan of a team, I want my 9 to be a ruthless killer. I'm not saying be just greedy and smash every shot from every angle, but there were definitely a few times where I thought, you know what? You can defo let it off here, and he's cut it back, it's been intercepted, or he's tried a little pass, it's been intercepted. So yeah, not many shots in that first 50 minutes despite all the domination. And I think there's a very simple reason for that, and that is looking at the midfield. We're seeing Mikel Merino, Norgard, and the only standout player there, Ethan Nwaneri. He is the only player that looked of any sort of value there. I understand it's like it's pre-season, you got to let everyone, you know, bed in and get some minutes under their belt, but with the season 10 days away, I'd assume you go, all right, boom, one half with the starters, the second half, the French players, the subs. Instead, we had Mikel Merino moving like he was playing, you know, FIFA Ultimate Team against someone in China on like 700 ping, bro. The delay, it was bad. He was just flying into tackles where the ball's left about 5 seconds, bro. And I'm thinking, bro, like, you're a Spanish midfielder. What's going on here? And then, as fate would have it, before the game, I was telling Arsenal fans, yo, a cheeky loan for Nicola Pepe. If you ain't going to be getting Eze and Rodriguez and them, man, I think Pepe was hard done by. The way guys talk about him like he was worse than, you know, Anthony and Sancho, when he was never anywhere near that. Lo and behold, Villarreal go up the other end one time, and Nicola Pepe scores, does the hands up apology, and suddenly I'm not so crazy anymore. And nor am I crazy about what I've been trying to explain about David Raya. And I'll repeat it again for those that maybe didn't watch the Spurs video. David Raya is a great goalkeeper. Fantastic goalkeeper, in fact. But there are fine margins between finishing second, and winning the league. Coming Champions League semi-finals and winning the final. Go look at Donnarumma, for example, for PSG. When they needed him the most, he saved them. In the league, the amount of times Alisson saves Liverpool. This pre-season so far, Arsenal's goalkeepers, it's not been looking hot. David Raya, and then obviously Kepa we'll get onto when we speak about the second half. There's another 15-20 minutes of Arsenal just passing it side to side and then spamming crosses in the air to absolutely nobody again. Gyökeres done well to fashion his own chance, to be fair, but keeper saved it. And then Villarreal went up the other end and scored again. The ball fired at David Raya, makes a save, it loops up into the air, and then Ete Eyong, he scores 2-0, and suddenly alarm bells start ringing, because again, United is next week, you know. I'm there thinking, yo, these men, whenever they go to Dubai, they start balling out mid-season, like January, February, whatever. As far as I'm concerned, Go to Dubai now. Forget the Emirates Cup on Saturday, Sunday, whenever you man play it. Go to Dubai now, because this ain't looking good. They did get a goal back, courtesy of Norgard scoring a header at the back post. A set piece, massive surprise there. Who could have seen that coming? In the second half, there was a lot more that I want to speak about. Of course, a whole host of changes came through. The halftime changes saw Zubimendi and Mosquera came on. And listen, Mosquera, fair play. I was impressed. I was unfamiliar with Mosquera's game. I wasn't watching him like that last year. But he seemed very confident in the duels. He was very quick, good in the air, good on the ground. He started playing right back for the first 15 or 20 minutes of the second half. And then moving to centre back when Timber came on. And I think, as everyone knows, for his age, he has crazy amounts of experience already. He almost had his first iconic moment when Danjuma somehow managed to find his way through in acres of space. Mosquera's breezed through like Valverde that time where he got the red card, but he's missed by like 2 millimeters. Danjuma fires past Kepa, and I say past Kepa, fires at Kepa. The ball's gone through Kepa's hand and into the back of the net. 3-1 Villarreal. At this point, Arsenal have subbed on the likes of Odegaard, Declan Rice, Gabriel, Timber and them, man. And the next thing I'm about to say, I don't know if this is good or bad. I saw a tweet this morning when I woke up, something along the lines of like, Max Dowman is set to go on holiday because he's not had a break yet. And listen, if you're an Arsenal fan, as far as I'm concerned, Max Dowman, unpack your bags. You are not going on holiday. Why? You've just become the most important person at the workplace. This guy came on and it genuinely, I know it sounds crazy because the brother's 15, but it genuinely was like how they used to move with Messi. Just give the ball to my man and let him cook. Wherever he is, he could be in his own half, he could be on the edge of the box, he could be in his own box. Give Max Dowman the ball and let him cook. Lo and behold, he wins a penalty. Probably should have been his second or third penalty of the game because the amount that Villarreal were fouling him in and around the box was astonishing. He was beating guys that it's like he doesn't have any sort of fear about someone being quicker than him or stronger than him. Guys, he's starting year 11 soon. He's starting, let me repeat in case you didn't quite get what I was saying. He's starting year 11 this upcoming September, October. And he's playing like this. My friend, you cannot go on holiday. We will see you at Old Trafford. We will see you at Old Trafford because without him, that attack is looking stale. And this is why, again, I get confused by the choice to field two completely different lineups. Because in the first half, you got Gyökeres with, you know, Saka and Martinelli. You got the wingers there. But then you got brothers like Mourinho trying to be creative in midfield. And then Gyökeres comes off. And now you start bringing Max Dowman, Odegaard, even Declan Rice to carry the ball forward when in the first half they were just getting dwarfed. But as I said, Max Dowman, he wins the penalty. I think everyone there was hoping, yo, Max Dowman, just take it, bro. Like, again, it's a friendly. It ain't that deep. Just let him have a cheeky little goal at the Emirates. Odegaard takes it. He scores. I mean, I guess it is practice and whatnot. So, you know, fair enough. 3-2. Madueke has now come on immediately after the penalty. So they're trying to get a goal back. He makes his debut at the Emirates. And to be honest, this one was tough to really judge because they had 15 minutes, but the ball wasn't really coming to him that much. He had a couple decent runs where he do a little 1-2 chop here and there. A bit of link up with Declan Rice. But as I said, on the other side, there's a youth called Max Dowman. And anytime Arsenal got the ball, wherever you are, if you are stuck in trouble, launch the ball to Max. This is the youngest boss man I've ever seen, bro. I cannot believe what I'm seeing. So among all the negatives from the game of, you know, the lack of shots on target, maybe the counter-attacks not really working defensively, looking a bit too open, it is not all doom and gloom because the future is bright. And that future, it might be 5 years, I don't know how long. But when the best two players today are Max Dowman and Ethan Nwaneri, there are slight question marks. And I think, again, Crystal Palace, Parish and them, man, they're watching thinking, yep, that Eze price has gone up again. Because it's so clear that when Arsenal play like this, it's very stale. But again, I do believe in balance, right? There are some, you know, them brothers that do AFTV, they start shouting, Harteta Hout, and then they're making hats with Harteta Hout on it. Then you got the other guy saying, preseason's meaningless, it's just about fitness, whatever. It's always important to be somewhere in the middle. Preseason is definitely important. You can get a gauge, even just a vibe. I know it sounds stupid, but like, you think back to, let's say, Arsenal 22-23, right? When Jesus came in. I remember everyone thinking, brother, have they just signed R9? What the hell is going on here? They were going crazy in preseason and it carried on into the season. Now, I'm not saying it's a guarantee, that you're going to start cooking immediately if you do well in pre-season. But it's better to start off strong and see it continue than have a honking pre-season, confidence is low, and then believe that suddenly you can click into gear. Now, they do have one game left. It is the Emirates Cup against Bilbao this weekend. So I'd like to think we see the actual best 11, because it's unfair to judge the likes of Gyökeres or Madueke or Zubimendi when they're playing in the kind of makeshift teams where half the team is the correct team, the other half is like, what's my man doing here? But certainly it's cause for concern, because neither of the major transfers look to be revolutionizing Arsenal that much. But again, it is very early days. I think if you're writing off Gyökeres now, it might come back to bite you. I've always said, like, I'm not a Gyökeres super fan. You guys can check the tapes from the last year, the last 2 years. I'm not his biggest fan. However, the brother gets you goals. So it's all about adjusting to the team. When you're a pure 9, entering a brand new environment, new league, new country, new teammates, new system, you're going to take a while to adapt. But I think at this point, Arsenal are just hoping for just one creative signing to add a bit of excitement going into the season. Because the way that it's been going, look, season on season, the results have been getting better in terms of the points have gone up every year, bar last year. But then you can make the case to say that it was, I guess, an improvement per se, because you reached the Champions League semi-final rather than the quarter-final the year before and not playing it the year before that. So on a technicality, you can say second with the progress each way. But the football is starting to decline. I don't know if it's because of Granit Xhaka leaving. Maybe it really is Gabriel Jesus, and all the people that were underrating him are starting to see just how good at football this guy is. But as far as I'm concerned, if it wins you trophies, play the most terrible Tony Pulis football you want. But if you aren't going to win, then there's no point in doing this. But I repeat, it is not all doom and gloom. I think you have to really have a level head and realize the actual 11 hasn't played yet. I keep thinking back to what they did against Real Madrid and then in PSG for the 2 legs. Gyökeres being there, would that have made an impact? Just finishing 1 or 2 more of those chances when Donnarumma was getting Man of the Match awards. I think that Champions League run alone has given Arteta enough credit in the bank to see this season through and see what happens. But of course, no trophy this season, there are massive question marks. Let me know where you think Arsenal finish. Do you think it's a cause for concern? Have they fell off? With United going for Sesko and Baleba and that, I'm seeing guys saying Arsenal don't even get top 4. I vehemently disagree with that one. I think they'll still be comfy top 4, but they need to go up their gears very quickly because the season starts very soon. And I'll be here every day. Why? Because I want that 100k plaque. So keep liking, keep commenting, keep subscribing. Let me know what other videos you want, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bosh.